This is Into the Fire. I'd like to welcome to Into the Fire the young, the exciting Brad Jones Racing Star SA boy Nick Percat. Nice to meet you.
You too.
First things first, it says you're a single, is that true?
I am. I just hang out with my dog, Nelson Chocolate Labrador. It's much easier.
Yeah, that's cool. So young, good looking bloke, future star, wealthy, I'm presuming, and a super nice guy. Would you think about it if they rang you for The Bachelor?
They actually did ring me a few years ago, but it clashes with all the supercar stuff, so I think it'd be a bit of fun, and I feel my mates would get a bit of enjoyment out of watching me in that situation, but at the moment I'm just going to keep flying solo. It's much easier. You'll find out one day. So.
Okay, yeah, I probably will. Well, let's start by saying you're the perfect person for the Into the Fire after your race in Townsville. That must have been exciting. You really were on fire that day.
Legitimately on fire, yep. Thankfully I didn't catch fire, just the car, but yep, actually a few of our crew caught fire. Two of them were fully on fire, so they should probably be in the interview.
Yeah, well, don't know where they are. In 2007, at the young age of 19, you joined Walkinshaw Racing. Then just 2 years later, you won the Ford Championship, breaking Stephen Richards' record for the most wins. Were you always a talented junior?
I wasn't too bad in go-karts. We were kind of thereabouts. Never won a national championship or anything. But then when I got into a car is when I really got going. It suits the way I drive. And I went with some good teams, got backing from Walkinshaw, like you said, and then I went to Sonic Motor Racing. We're very good at kind of developing young drivers. So yeah, it's had a good run, and obviously with the Walkinshaw family and support there, they've kind of groomed me to where I am today.
Yeah, that is super cool. You then moved to the Dunlop 2 series in 2010 and earned an 11 endurance drive that etched your name into history. The first winner in 30 years. You must have been pleased with how you were progressing.
Yeah, that happened really fast. I think I might have peaked too early because I won Bathurst in my first crack. And yeah, it's actually been hard to come by a trophy in the last few years, so maybe I should have just stopped back in 2011. But yeah, that was part of that program with Walkinshaw, so a junior program, and yeah, they put a lot of faith in me to go alongside Tander then, who was the main driver for HRT. So very cool, because my family all worked for Holden building the road cars. So for my dad to have his son on the grid in a factory Holden Racing Team car was pretty special.
Yeah, it would be pretty special. On a side note, you're an SA boy. Do you follow the AFL? Do you barrack for the Crows or Power? Or are you not willing to say after last week's games?
I'm an Adelaide supporter, Adelaide Crows supporter, but it's been disheartening the last couple of weeks. So I think I actually got upset with them, and I said that they should reimburse me for the electricity it cost to run my TV to watch the game last week, because it was that pathetic. So yeah, unfortunately I don't think we're going to make finals.
Yeah, it was pretty pathetic. In 2013, the progression up the ladder continued to the Porsche Carrera car, finishing second, having a record number of poles and fastest laps. What was it like driving a Porsche? I'm going to own one of those one day.
They are very cool. First off, in that category you sit on the opposite side, so you're sitting on the right hand side, the left hand side at the right. So that took a little bit of getting used to. The engine's in the rear, where the supercar engine's in the front. So they're a very cool car to drive. Very lucky I got to race those, because they're pretty, in the world of cars and motor vehicles, they're the most pure car you can get on the road or on a racetrack. So that was very good year.
Yeah, they are a bit different. Then came your big break. You substituted for James Courtney in the Supercars season-ending Sydney 500, leading to a full-time call-up in 2014. So how did this substitution happen? Do you still send James Courtney a Christmas card every year?
Well, I actually have to send a French driver who was with GRM, Alexander Premat. He had an issue, and he actually crashed into James and broke his leg. So then that's why I ended up filling in, because I was already part of the team. So yeah, I filled in 2013 at Homebush, and then yeah, the following year was in the main series with them.
Yeah, that would be pretty painful, breaking your leg.
Not ideal.
Yeah. So the first year you finished 12th, the highest placed rookie, but then a difficult end. James Rosenberg elected to sell up. leaving you without a drive. Any truth it was your wages that made him sell up?
It was not my wages. I wish it was my wages, but it wasn't. Sponsors, and he had a disagreement with Walkinshaw, so he parted ways.
That's not good.
Not ideal.
You then got a lifeline through Lucas Dumbrell, who wasn't a dumb bro for getting you, was he? You were a bit up and down early, but you gave your boss a good friend his first ever supercars win, here in good old Adelaide, and a podium finish at Bathurst. Nice way to repay his faith.
Yeah, that was very cool because they were the smallest team in the grid with the smallest budget, so I kind of went there as part of a Holden program, so they put me there to try and help the results, and yeah, we went not too bad. Obviously won Adelaide 500, third at Bathurst, and I think my last race with them I was 8th or something at Homebush. So yeah, that was pretty cool because he was one of my best friends growing up. So to drive for him and have him as your boss was a bit weird, but it was good.
Yeah, that's not bad. You even said yourself that prior to this year, you would either be really fast or into the fence. Do you think because of your talent you got impatient? And how have you managed to change your thinking this year?
Yeah, I get impatient, that's why. I end up trying to drive through my competitors or around them in an interesting way, which does lead to sometimes a crash. So this year, last 2 years I've had to rein that in, so I see a sports psychiatrist who gets my head ready for the weekend and does all the stuff with making sure I'm mentally prepared, and that helps me in the race car. And then the team here at Brad Jones Racing have done a lot of work to try and make sure we're just fast and we're not crashing. So big credit to everyone here at BJR, and then Anthony, who I see during the week to try and help sort my head out.
Yeah. I do have a question. I don't understand. You said that in qualifying, if you're 6th, that's probably the maximum potential. What's the difference between the top cars?
See, that's just for us as a team at the moment. So we're developing our car a little bit, so we're trying to make it faster so we can challenge inside the top 5. But at the moment, with where we're at with our package, yeah, 6th would be like qualifying on pole. So we just need a little bit, probably a little bit more development stuff, to be honest. And that's it takes a little bit longer because we don't get many practice days to sort out the car and what we want. So our engineers have to kind of dream up an idea and make the part and then put it on the car at a race meeting to test it. So it's very risky. So it actually slows down the development of the race car. So hopefully we got some new bits in the car here at Tail and Bend. Hopefully that gets us a little bit more speed.
Yeah, hopefully. So you're heading abroad after the Bend to work with renowned driver coach Rob Wilson. What will you concentrate on more? Not stalling or not setting your car on fire?
We'll probably go through both things. I don't know if he wants me to set his car on fire. He's a little bit old now. I don't know how fast he can run if it catches on fire. I'll be disappointed if I stall it. What are we actually going to do? I think we're just going for a bit of fun. Now he actually works with the likes of like your Lewis Hamilton, Bottas. I think Lance Stroll does stuff with him now. So current F1 drivers, and he talks about the way you position the car to control the weight of it, because obviously they're quite heavy. They weigh over 1,000 kilos. So the way you move the weight around the car is pretty important, and he does a lot of work with that. So I'm just trying to get a refresher and see if because he sits next to me, and if he sees something, he might give me a whack and be like, why are you doing that? And it just makes you think about it a bit more. So just trying to keep the brain active and thinking about how to make myself go faster.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, last question. What do you think of the Bend after being on it last year?
I like it. It's good. It's very high speed, a lot of high grip, so it's kind of fun to drive. Finished 5th here last year, so it makes you naturally like it more. And then you get home crowd support, which is good. So yeah, it's a good track, long straights, good track for passing. The racing's normally pretty good. So yeah, and the best thing is they have a nice museum with all some nice cars in there and a cafe and all that. So it's
some pretty nice
got some nice creature comforts here compared to different rounds.
Yeah. Well, no one leaves Into the Fire without a chance to see the greatest celebration in sporting history, the Into the Fire. It goes like this. When you win a race.
Is that what I have to do now?
Yeah,
okay.
Just try it. Ready?
Is it so? Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to try it one more time together?
Okay, I'll go this
3,
hand.
2, 1. Job.
Good.
Well, thank you, Nick. You're a serious talent and a guy who's still on the way up. I've loved chatting to you and finding out more about what makes Nick Percat tick. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.